Good morning, guys and girls. This is the view from my back porch, and you might be able to just see the treehouse roof poking through here. The birds are sounding mighty happy this morning. I'm pretty happy too. I think they're happy for this rain we've had. Damo, who's currently staying with us in the house truck, hasn't stirred this morning. And there goes Super Duck coming into view. Pretty big for a duck that's just like 10 weeks old. And here's old mate over here that's 20 years old, Muscovy, completely different breed. Yeah mate, we love you. You're a pecan duck, aren't you? That's right. The good thing about having ducks on the loose is they eat the slugs, unlike chickens that don't. Keep them away from my plants and that, which is really good. We need them really in the vegetable garden though, don't we guys? All of the wasabi leaves all turn up to capture the rain in the night. Bigsy's reminding me it's time for his morning walk. He's just told me, with a bit of a cry. Hey Po? I bet that rain was loud on your roof last night, eh? You're wagging your tail, you'll get a walk very soon, mate. Our apples are all tree ripen now. Currently I'm looking at ways how I can make apple cider vinegar. Murray's sheep next door, trying to get close to my sheep. I'm going to do a little bit of one-on-one this morning with this guy here. No, Pace, you can stay in your box for now, that's right. I'd like to do a bit of one-on-one with my dogs. Yeah, you'll get your walk soon, buddy, just wait. Haven't forgotten about you, we'll come back and get you in a minute, okay? This is what free-range chickens look like, or at least they're run. I don't know how many you can see in there, there's a few. 20 to be exact, but they're all in the bushes. One of the main draws to me buying this property off my landlord, or my old landlord at least, was all this native bush here. Before I bought the property, the actual boundary went right through the middle of this bush, so cut most of it off. So the landlord shifted the boundary right to here. So we had this bit, so this is actually his driveway, but he lets me use it. So I got all this bit of bush and he just cut a bit of paddock off to sort of even it up. That's why my paddock's not dead square. And there's the boundary mark there that he pulled out. It used to be back down where that caravan we've got parked is down there. So that's our line. And the chicken run up there. Yeah mate. Good boy, happy dog. You're a good boy. Dogs love pine cones, don't they? Therefore this old man pine tree here is right on the boundary. Well, my side actually, a lot of firewood in that. Come on mate, stay in, good boy. Good dog, heel up. We'll see how Murray's pond's doing. During duck shooting season they know a place that no one's going to shoot them. Murray won't have anyone shoot on his pond. I can tell you one person who wouldn't mind having a shoot on his pond. That person would be me. I've got a 410, but right now actually, yeah I've got 410 with some shot, but right now we've got so many fat pecan ducks I actually prefer to chew on them. But the ducks are pretty happy here. We've also got some native ducks, these little scalps that hang out down here too. There's the little native ones. They don't normally like mix with these guys here. There's one good green neck and a couple of fat hens or mallard hens, whatever you call the female ducks. But that green neck, he's got the ring on his neck, he's quite a fatty. And some more native ducks over there, actually a healthy population. It's the first year we actually got fledglings on there. They normally get eaten by the pakikos, but I shot most pakikos, give them a chance to breed up. Normally I'd see a rabbit or two on the bank on the other side there, but the Cholestes virus has come through here and taken all the mature rabbits, and there's the odd juvenile getting around, but not much that I can see. Which is a shame because we actually love eating rabbit. We normally eat a rabbit a week, but there's been nothing to shoot. The population will pick up though, it always does. It takes a while. You can probably spot in the distance some Highland cattle. Well, that would have to be some of the best chewing I've ever had. Last month I knocked over one of those cows for Murray, it was a bit crook. And we've been chewing on the back straps and the back leg, and oh, it's just delicious. Sort of like Wagyu steak. It's got fat running right through it. Murray and Mary next door, and they had those cattle ever since I've been here. They must be 15 years old. Good dog, Bigsy. Bigsy, come. Good boy. You're a good dog. That's what we're doing. We're working on just coming today, aren't we? Because you've had your ears a bit blocked lately. Hey? Beautiful dog, aren't you, boy? Aren't you beautiful? You sure are. You're a good dog. Come on, let's go. Normally doing my morning walk, I'd see a bunch of rabbits and a few hares in these paddocks here of Murray's, but nothing. It just shows the Clessy's virus has really smashed them. Not even a juvenile running around. Alright, we'll head on back down to my bit of dirt down there. Good dog. Waggle. Waggle. It's funny, normally with the other dogs he just goes a mile. I can't keep him in, and when I'm by myself he's like a little shadow. I'm trying to send him but he keeps on coming back in. That's interesting, isn't it? Pack dogs and by themselves are quite different. Dogs do eat a bit of grass, and my thinking is there's no nutritional value. It must be to get rid of worms. It might be time to give old Bigsy his worming again. I do it normally every 12 weeks to 16 weeks. Bigsy, come. Good boy, come on. The old farm outhouse. Every farm used to have one, I don't know if they still do. And I can tell you I've used that still in the odd emergency walking around the farm. All it is a big long drop hole and a wee tin shed put on top with a hole to sit on. This is where we get our water from. This is the pump shed. These are the old lines that have recently been replaced that were going down in the ground to the water we get here. The water gets pumped all the way back up to Murray's house. He's got a tank at the very top, and then it feeds back down to mine. That gives it the pressure we've got to my house, which is down there. With this rain, the mushrooms have come up, and there's some nice slippery jacks, and there's nothing wrong with eating those guys. Although a lot of Kiwis don't favour them. I know that the Germans love them. I used to have a German girlfriend and she was the one that introduced me. We'll harvest those later. This is one of the old pumps. It's actually seized up. It's Murray's, not mine on the property, but there'll be a well down there as well. Good dog. Come on, let's go, mate. So my fence got damaged pretty soon after we had it built. This tree here fell down, broke a branch off and fell down. But also someone's damaged it over here just recently. I need to put some wire underneath this road here where the tunnel goes through, because the dogs walk under here and get out into the neighbour's farm over here. It's pretty easy for them to come out. They can just go straight through. It was really nice getting a fence put up. I mean, it meant the dogs were safe and secured the whole property, but it doesn't take long for something to happen. As you can see here, this wire, someone's probably reversed into it and stretched it, and they pulled the top right down, and that's out. Now I'll have a look at that closely and get a pair of pliers and try and fix it, but I don't know if I can without a pair of fence strainers just to pull the whole lot back up. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. Ideally I should buy some fence strainers and a few bits and pieces, maybe some hay strainers and stuff to maintain my own fence. Either that or I'm getting someone in to maintain it all the time, which is pretty expensive. So it's also expensive to buy the gear, and weighing up what's better, to get someone who's professional to do it quickly and pay them, or to buy the gear and attempt to do it myself half-assed. I'm not sure. I used to do fencing when I was probably in my 20s, so it's something I would have forgotten my knots for sure. It's just something I haven't done for 40 odd years, so I don't know, maybe I'll call someone. Beautiful native. These were all planted when I first moved in, and now they're above my head. It's funny the things that you forget, you go through your life, the things that you've done that you used to do heaps of. Like I'm talking about doing fencing and the knots, but it's also things like songs. When I was a singer and entertainer in Europe in my 20s, 30s and 40s, I had over 4,000 songs I used to draw from. Pick up the guitar and I could play any one of them without any sheet music or lyrics or chords, all in here. I pick up the guitar today and I go, how'd that song go again? It just goes out of your brain. Wouldn't it be good if you could retain everything? And I heard it said that we actually can recall everything with certain mental gymnastics that can be done, but I haven't been able to perform them yet because things just go out of my head and I can't get them back. It's a bugger, because a lot of those songs I'd like to better sing today still, and I'd have to look them up online and find them, Google them, I guess. But not quite the same as just being with a bunch of mates and pulling out the guitar while you're having the odd whiskey and sharing a moment. It's a bit different. Music and everything's changed today. So much incredible music out there. Apps like TikTok, where people are putting their music from their bedrooms, is bringing so many amazing musicians that are just in their bedroom, and it's great. It's great for young musicians to do that. So across the road here we've got Construct, and hopefully Clint can give young Spencer, who's going to be moving with us in June, a job there. It's a good place. They're good people. Clint's a good bastard. He used to look after Bruno. Bruno used to walk across that road when he'd sneak out and go and see Clint. Not that we like that, because it's a road and he could have got hit, but he never did, luckily. But it's where they fabricate these buildings. You can see there's one right there just behind the letterbox. They make those there. In fact, they make lots of things like that. Okay, Bigsy, you get in, mate. Bigsy, come. Come on. Bigsy, come. Good boy. Having a bit of dirt to walk around it, no one can tell you you've got to move out because you haven't paid the rent, or we're developing it, or any sort of reason at all. To be on your own bit of dirt is the most wonderful, unexplainable feeling, really, unless you know what I'm talking about and you've got it yourself. And it's a privilege, really. There's a lot of people are displaced in this world, and I've rented for a lot of all the years here until a couple of years ago. So having a bit of dirt like this here to walk around with, it's a feeling of home. It's a feeling of the land, me. I can sustain the people I love with this bit of land. I don't know a lot about growing stuff, but I'm growing stuff all the time. Whether it's going and shooting a rabbit when they're here, or harvesting some mushrooms, or growing some wasabi, or all the vegetables we're growing now, the fruit. It's not even just that, it's just a place to call home where you're grounded. Your dogs can freely walk and no one can tell you, get that dog off here. This is our dirt. And when we bought this, the old farmhouse had no value at all. It was considered $0 worth. It was the land that we bought. And land is the most important thing if you're putting roots down. And there's nothing wrong with renting either. I loved renting here. I was happy here renting. I was very happy. I never aspired to owning it. Just things aligned and found a place. Murray didn't have to sell it to me. I guess all the years of looking after his cattle while I was overseas, and just being a good neighbour and taking care of each other, had a part to play in it. And call that good luck or good karma, whatever you want to, but he could have sold it to a lot of other people for a lot more money than I'm paid for it. I'm sure he was pretty reasonable with the cost of the place, and I'm grateful for that. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't. They could have put an auction up and got top dollar from somebody up in Auckland. The property next door was put on the market a while ago for $2 million, and it sold for $4 million. I mean, that's a different property altogether, because that's a seafront property, and this is down on the road. So, but yeah, up there. But those guys were hopeful to get $2 million for it, and somebody from Auckland bought double. I heard that through the grapevine. I haven't actually looked it up, and I don't know if it's actual truth, but I heard that someone told me that. So that was a crazy auction, and in a way it's sad, because it's really squeezing people out of the property market, like my children. But I do believe that the properties are going to come back down. I think as inflation's driving interest rates up, it's going to be really difficult to buy property to get the mortgage. But at the same other side, I mean, I'm not an economist, but I reckon that housing prices, they've already slowed down here, and I reckon it's going to come down quite a bit. So if you've got some cash and you're waiting to buy a place, then hold on to your money for a bit longer, because I don't know, it's just my gut feeling. Hey, look at this. We've got a birch tree there, and every day I've come down here in the last 4 days and I've harvested these birch billets. Look, there's one here, a beautiful mushroom. The dog food's going to get it. And I can see another one's come up. This just come up last night, because I actually picked some yesterday. There'll be more. I'm harvesting them. There's another one. I'm harvesting them now, because if you don't, they sort of get a bit wet. Go away, Bigsy, don't stand on my mushroom. No, Bigsy, go away. Well, go away. Go away. Here we go. Not for you, mate. You can see me interested in something, getting excited. He's reading my body language. Look, you don't want to eat that. You don't want to eat that. No, you don't. You don't want that. It's a bloody mushroom. I will pick these. And we'll go back later on and get the slippery jacks, because These are my favourite ones in the field. Slippery jacks are okay when I'm doing the sort of wandering through the bush. Get him, Bigsy! Get him, Bigsy! Bigsy, come! Get back in. There's a runner just across the road there he's seen. The old guard dog him. Don't you touch, you stay in. Good boy. No, leave it. Stay. What I was saying was that when I'm going bush, it's normally the slippery jacks that I'll eat with wild game. No, Bigsy, come! Back in. Good dog. This is why I'm doing one-on-one this morning with him. Good boy, good dog, good boy. It's a good dog. Because he hasn't been listening. Good boy, good dog. That's a good dog. Yes, you are. Stay. Yeah, hasn't been listening. Get him behind. Heel up, Bigsy. Looking from the bottom paddock, you can see the house, or tree house at least. No, you can't. You can't see it. It's in those bushes, but the tin roof is just, no, you won't see it from here. What you can see next to where it is, going to the left, or the centre of the screen, is the hut that we built for young fellas. Currently it's got a young fellow here staying at Lizzie. She's up there now. And of course we've got the old houseboat, the Flatbill and Floozy. I've been working on this roof of this houseboat. It's got a really bad leak and I think I found it. I want to go up there now and just check it out and see how she's looking and see if I've got onto it, because it's been bloody hard to find. It's the perfect weather for growing mushrooms right now. It's wet as, but it's also quite humid and quite warm, and they start popping up everywhere. And we have a variety on the property, a lot of which you can't eat, which you wouldn't eat. My son's really good because he knows all his mushrooms, but of course there's a lot you can eat. So I call it meat of the forest. Delicious and good for you and fun to pick too. What do we got here? It looks like a standard. Oh yep, we can eat that. And what's this one here? A wee button one, or is it a... Yeah, you can eat those. That's edible. Take that. You can see more starting to come up. Those wee dots in the ground. They'll be coming up later on today. There's heaps there, little wee small ones. We'll leave those and come back. By the end of the day, they'll be popped right out. I want to see how we're doing up here for leaks. You going to come up too, Bigsy? You're going to stay down there, mate. Oh, here we go. Good boy. Let's put our mushrooms here. Feels dry in here. Hasn't got that damp feeling it normally has. But it's over here what I'm concerned about. And how are we looking? Oh no, we're looking good. We're looking good. Oh, that's excellent. Looks like old Clay got it, eh, Bigsy? Hey, it looks like I got it, didn't I? Oh, that's good. That's been bothering me, that. Yeah, I've been up on the roof. This is where the old leak was. You can see the staining. We just got to repaint it. It's not leaking anymore. It's a bit of shiny paint. Oh, we've sorted it. Well, that's a job I'm stoked to have out of the way, because it was making it hard. I had two builders that couldn't find it that I paid to do it, and I actually fixed it myself. Happy days. We had a lot of rain last night, so I reckon we've nailed it, Bigsy. Yeah. This was full of cluster flies, and my mate Shane came over from Marpur with a backpack. Didn't ask him to. He come over here, took it upon himself, came in all these rooms here, and tidied all the cluster flies out. What a good bastard. Absolute top shelf good bastard. Just come in here and did the whole lot. And I saw him there, I thought, who's that? And it's Shane with a backpack on. It was a little vacuum cleaner that runs on a battery. Well, I'm stoked. Gonna give it a wee spray and go out here just to kill the bastards that are still in here. Come on, Bigsy. Let's bugger off, mate. Good dog. Come on, mate. No, you're not having me mushrooms. Where you go? Where you go? Good boy. Looks like my sheep are saying g'day to Murray's sheep next door. This yellow stuff is clay. It's known as the Moteri clay. And a little bit of useless information for you. When I came back from Europe years ago, when I was a younger man than I am now, the first pig dog I went hunting with was called Clay. Kieran, one of my mates, had it. Kieran's a really good pig hunter, and another mate was Anthony, and another mate was Sean. and we went off on the first hunt, and I was so unfit. I'd come from playing music every night, hadn't walked the hills in years. I was skinny, and I've been smoking and doing drugs, and just, I was in my probably 30s, I suppose, late 30s. And I loved it, but it nearly killed me. But that dog, Clay, the name stuck in my mind. And then the Moteri Clay, which is around here, the name Clay stuck in my mind. So when I created a YouTube channel, there was a lady called Fran that was helping me. I never got back to her, and we were brainstorming some ideas for what would be a good last name. And she said, well, what do you want to do with your YouTube channel? And I said, oh, I want to make songs and stories. She said, what sort of stories? I said, well, tall stories. I want to do stuff that's real, what my life is, but also fishing and hunting, particularly fishing. There's always that tall story aspect. You've probably heard about the one-armed Irish fisherman. He caught a fish that was duck long. That's a stupid joke. Anyway, the name kind of came about because I also needed a name for all of the hunting forums I belong to. I used to belong to the Fish and Hunt forum and the Monteria forum. There's so many hunting forums 15 years ago that started off. It was the new thing, wasn't it? Go online and join a forum with like-minded people. And so Clay Tall Stories was born. That's how the name came about it. And it is just a nickname, and apart from my mum and my girlfriend, everybody calls me Clay. It's been an incredible journey being a YouTuber. I never thought it would bring me so many people to my life that would make my life so rich in so many ways. And today, of course, I've got my my patrons that enable us to keep doing this, to do things like build that, and we'll be building something else because we still don't have enough space. Right now I need space for someone else who's actually stuck, and it's horrible turning people away, but there is only so many places you can sleep here, and the council won't let us put anybody in the houseboat. How stupid is that, eh? How stupid is that? Just because one neighbour complained. Anyway, we won't go down that. We won't start grizzling about that. We'll be grateful for the fact we've got a bit of dirt and we can build something else. But it's all cost, and without my patrons, I wouldn't be able to run a YouTube channel. I mean, the thing was saved years ago by those guys. Years ago, I was doing it and enjoying it. It was good fun, but I was losing money hand over fist because I was doing it full time and there was no revenue coming in. Oh, it was probably 150 bucks a month in ad revenue. But so I said, hey guys, I'm pulling the pin. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't. It's not sustainable. And I just couldn't. It was my dad actually said, son, you've got to stop this right now because you're just working too hard. And everybody jumped on board. The Pom over in Orkney, he set it up for me. Darren H and a bunch of the early GBs and the Good Bastard Club set it up. And the channel was really born and it sustained it. And I'm so grateful because I love creating content, because I love sharing the things in my life, as big or small as they are. Speaking of that, the garden, I've been working on that too, and she's looking pretty good. Ideally, as Nick said, I'd like to have posts to go right up high with a roof on it, but that's something for down the track. That's what I do have for my wasabi here. That's completely covered, the birds can't get to it. But I do suspect it's the slugs that have been nailing my vegetables. Just before the rains came, I put these rows of celery with a row of bok choy down the middle. And when it gets a little bit bigger, yeah, I'll lift the net up, but just to get it established, that helps it get started. Get a bit warm. Somebody suggested hydroponics, which is a damn good idea, or even growing using water and fish to create a cyclic way of fertilizing the plants. But these mussel boys have been really good too. This is how it looks from underneath, and of course they've all got holes to drain the water. And apparently you harvest these guys on your first frost. I've been told by Stu Driver, my mate. You can hear how wet it is underfoot. Now, did you think we forgot your walk, did you, Po? Oh, you're a good dog, aren't you? No, we didn't forget you, mate. We didn't forget you. Bigsy's waiting for his mum to come out, aren't you, mate? Standing on the old fridge. Come on, Po. Come on, mate. Yeah, mate. We're getting you a second walk this morning. You got the bonus walk, didn't you, eh? That's right. And it was good. You came when I called you. Just a bit of one-on-one training is always good. Pace McBride. Stay. I haven't given you the command yet. Stay. I didn't give the command, Pace. Right, let's try that again, eh? Oh, I haven't said it. Get up. Back up, in your box. Well, let's try it again. Stay. Pace, come. I'll tell you what happened there with Pace. Each time I was just about to say it, and he was watching my face. He was reading my expression. He could just see my lips just start to go. And as soon as he saw that, he was off. It just shows you how they watch so closely and read your facial expressions. Dogs read our facial expressions. You wouldn't think it, would you? But they do. That's a classic one there of him doing it. Both times he could see. Well, actually, no, the first time. The second time he was just being naughty. The first time was definitely I was about to say it. The second time I didn't get a chance. He just went up and down. But you wouldn't really give credit to a dog, an animal, for the things they can understand about us. They understand a lot more than we think they can. They read our emotional state, our body. You know, I know it for a fact. Whenever I'm feeling down and tired and exhausted and just buggered, it's always a Poe that comes up and puts a paw on me. You okay, boss? Everything all right, master? Yeah, mate, I'm okay. I just had a bit of a hard day, but I'm all right. She says, oh, that's good. And we have a bit of a pat and come on, mate, come on. Puts a paw on me, and I just feel that dogs really do get us. I feel they get us, and I feel that they don't really mind if we're not always perfect ourselves. They don't judge us. They just like to keep loving us. It's great. It's like unconditional love. I wanted to do a really slow pan for you guys, just around the farm, so you can see where I live and the beauty in the land. We've got orchards of olives and apples and pears. There's a lot of fruit, a lot of agriculture. And the big green shed down there, well, that's where I took before, that's Construct. And that's a Poro Road running there, that car there, someone going to work this morning. That's a Monday morning. Just want to pan across, it's Martin Strong's orchard on the other side. Beautiful colour of the trees. Autumn's just about over now, we're almost into winter, aren't we? What's the first day of winter? What's officially the first day of winter? I'm not sure. Are we there yet? No, it's too warm for that. There will be an official day in New Zealand, but I'm not sure what day that is. Maybe you can tell me. And now we're getting into the cherry farm. That's all those big white nets to keep the birds off, the bloody birds. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars to keep the birds off. I'll carry on round past the houseboat. You can see the cherry farm goes right up to the top there. And there's the house that belongs to the cherry farm. And we go back up to Murray's paddock in a full circle, like that. Poe's looking for something to eat, probably a bit of sheep shit. There's Lizzie's car, and she's staying there right now. We had 3 of these guys. I butchered one. They taste okay, but I'm keeping these guys. I'm not going to butcher any more. This beautiful black-faced sheep, I was going to butcher that, but Awi likes the wool for it, and I like homespun stuff, so she gets the wool off that. Still got the chain around his neck because he's hard to catch. And you can guarantee there's sheep shit right under where that dog's been, because they're just dirty bastards and they roll in every bit of shit they can. I don't know why that is. It's just the nature of them. Oh no, it's the dead Pukeko, that's what it is. Get out of there, Bigsy. You're not getting any more pats now, mate. It's the leftover of the Pukeko that Pace was chewing on yesterday. And it begins. We just keep an eye on it. Since I've taken B out of the equation, these games haven't turned into fights. With old B, it used to escalate quite badly. Now B's now with Wade Waller, the breeder, and he's invited us down. Catching a lot of pigs too right now. He's done a heap this year. Okay, come out of there, Pace. That can stop now. Pace, come! Yeah, Pace! Pace, come! Good dog! God, he's got good ears. Good boy! Well done. Pace, come! Good boy! Good boy. We just don't want 3 of you all going hard, because we know what happens. It's all fun and games until a tooth hits the wrong place and someone gets pissed off and it just escalates. They're still going for it. We'll keep them in. We'll keep pacing at least. Yep, good body language. Okay, try and keep out of their pace. I'll Poe's just trying to have a walk this morning, but Bigsy's trying to rack her up to play. She's telling him. It's a bit like deja vu. I did a video yesterday and the same thing's happening. Well, I'm not hunting them, that's good. They get all the exercise they need here on the farm. They really do. Yeah, she doesn't want to play. He does. She's gonna, in a minute she's gonna retell him. She's like, he's not getting the message, eh? He's just not getting it. Get out of there, Pace. Pace, I want you out of there, mate. Pace, come. Pace, come. Pace, come here. Get in behind. Heel up. Good boy. Heel up. Stay. Keep him in. Now she's gonna sort him out in a minute. Oh, Pixie, can't wait to start hunting him. The cost of food in New Zealand is going through the roof. We're feeding 3 people here right now. Well, actually, it goes up and down a bit. Fish that we catch, meat that we grow, or mates hunt for us, or we hunt for ourselves, which we haven't done of late. And kill ducks. Gotta go and check the ducks now, actually. And we grow vegetables, but we don't grow enough veggies to feed everybody. It takes a long time for a cabbage to grow. Things grow slow on the soil. Here they're good. And a cabbage at Countdown, I think, was $6 at the fruit and veg store in Mapua. And I'm going to do a video on that place. It's $4 or less, which is affordable. Pound of butter is expensive. Cream is expensive. Everything's expensive, and it's going up. And it's terrible because a lot of the food that we really need is unattainable for some people. There's no such luxury as being able to just take everything you want, and fill up your trolley now with things that you, just because they're healthy and good for you, because you've got to think twice about the price. And for this reason, I'm really becoming sort of geared towards trying to think of ways to make it more sustainable for us here. We haven't even finished building the farmhouse. It's only half done. I've only got my bedroom and the kitchen. That's the main ones. We haven't built the bathroom yet, and the lounge has just got holes in the roof and mice and rats can come in. So we're not I'm not worried about. The more important thing is to have a regular supply of good, healthy food for everybody that's here. You can hear the paradise ducks are getting upset. I've come over to their pond, which they've taken over. All right, so ideas are always going around in my head. What would be a way we can utilise the space better than we are? But it all comes down to cost of infrastructure. It's all very well saying, well, put this in or do that, but it costs money. So thinking the way we can do it the best, that doesn't cost a lot of money, and there they go. The most efficient way is to utilise what's already here. Well, let's see how my ducks are doing this morning. Well, we know why you're here, don't we, eh? Yeah, you're looking for an egg. You can see where the ducks' noses have been in. Not for you, mate. And we've got a few eggs still, but I think they've laid more, I'm not sure. They've actually made the hole this deeper, so I can't actually see. Oh, they've covered them up. Yeah, there's straw over them, that's a good sign. We might be getting some layers that are going to actually sit on the eggs for a change. We still need more rain because I want to flush this pond right out. It will come right up to here. I want to flush all the stuff off the top and wash it down. So we still need a lot more rain, but we're getting there. Dirty ducks. I get quite a few people write to me asking if I can use their product, because the channel's got a few people watching it, and they might sell their product. Sponsors, I guess you could call it. But the only things I actually use on the channel are things that I was probably going to use anyway. Well, maybe not. Junkie jigs. There's one. I would never have done slow jig fishing, but a mate said try this. My mate Simon, he says, yeah, they're really good, mate. So I gave him a crack, and lo and behold, I caught fish I never caught before. But on the whole, I don't use products. I used to be endorsed by Game Gear. Joel's a good bugger at Game Gear. He used to supply a lot of stuff for the boys, and it's good stuff. But Joel and I both, with a mutual agreement, go different ways. And I still would support Joel because he's worked bloody hard and he's got a good product. But I like the idea of not being attached to sponsors. I wouldn't say no to a boat though, if I'm honest. That would be one thing I wouldn't mind, as a decent boat. But overall, all the shoes and the clothes and the different companies that have said, hey, we'll fit you out with that. Because if you do that, you are sort of held to that company to showcase their product all the time. And that's one thing I'll say about Junkie Jigs, is those guys, he says, we don't care if you show it or not, Clay. He's a mate, just giving it to me to try. So I do show it. And the same with the rods that I use. But really, all the really flash gear and good gear. The most important thing that any of us can do is not own a whole lot of flash gear, it's just get out and make stuff happen. I have fed my family for years, extended family, on fish that I've caught out of my dad's old Prowler 13 kayak. I don't own it, it's still his. He lends it to me because he can't use it anymore. And it's had a lot of use, and it's kept us in so much fish. And it's the same with this bit of land here. People have suggested I do this and do that, but the expenditure for I don't need an expensive tractor. Yeah, a tractor would be nice. I don't need to have a lot of things. Keeping it simple was the way to go for me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a lot of flash gear, but keeping things simple for me has always been the way. And I still prefer to cook my food outdoors to cooking it in my flash new kitchen. I started this walk off with Bigsy because I want to do some one-on-one training. He hasn't been listening lately, so I've gone back to basic training with him, just doing his commands. Bigsy, sit. Bigsy, sit. See, he's just not tuned in still. Bigsy, come. Bigsy, come. Sit. There we go. Good boy. Good dog. He's just not tuned in right now. I think he's either getting impatient because we're not hunting, or I haven't been giving enough one-on-one time. Good boy. He's just not listening like the other dogs. These two here will come every time I call them. And what are you smelling, Poe, hey? Poe, come. Every time. That's how we like it, isn't it, Poe, eh? Good girl. Not like old Bigsy. Yes, Pace, I wasn't calling you, but you can come in too. Yeah, mate. Good girl. You're a good dog. Hey, guys, I'm going to wind this clip up for you. And, don't lick me bloody mouth. Jeez, dog. Thanks for following us and coming for a little walk on the farm. Hope your own world's going well, whatever's going on. And hopefully we bring you something a bit more exciting as the month carries on through. Hey, Poe. I really enjoy making these videos. They're so easy. They're what I call a snap vlog. They're made on the phone. There's no editing. Just pause, record, pause. I term the phrase snap vlog, and I see a few other young YouTubers doing that now. There's a couple that, actually 3 that I know that are doing what they're calling the same name as I call them, snap vlogs, because there's no work involved, and it's so sustainable for a YouTuber to walk around and just on and off. So if you're thinking of making a video that way, well, give it a crack. It's easy. Androids, phones, you can do it. You can't do it on an iPhone from what I gather. Maybe that function's changed. You certainly can do it on an Android. Pros and cons. Well, the only sort of negative is that half of it's back to front and half it's the right way, because you only can set your phone to one way. You can't flick it round. Well, you could, but you'd be going back and forward through the system and it's too confusing. Or you could do it and put it on editing system and edit half of it round the right way, if that makes sense to you. Other pros and cons? Well, it's got no music running through it, but you guys don't really care. I don't really care. Music's nice, but sometimes it can get a bit much and you can't even hear what the bloke's trying to say. What else are the pros and cons? Well, the positive, of course, is that it's already done. I've finished it. I'm going to hit the finish button. I'm going to do my usual, be good if you can't be good, be careful, and hit the stop, and I'm going to stick it straight on YouTube. First of all to patrons and then the rest of the public, and it's easy. It's very sustainable. And right now, while my life is incredibly busy, it makes sense for me to do it this way. Right now we're going down to the launch, which is out of the water. Yesterday 3 of us scrubbed it, and we're doing a bit of prep work today because we're going to put an anti-foul on it and get it ready for a mission, because I haven't sold it. I don't know why it isn't sold. It was a hell of a good bargain, but no one's bought it, so we'll use it. Well, if you can't beat them, join them, because I ain't giving it away. Anyway, that was my video today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I really enjoyed this walk. See ya. Time for the coffee. Haven't had a coffee this morning. The joys of life. Coffee.